The massive alien ship appeared on a quiet Tuesday morning, its dark metallic hull blocking out the sun over the Pacific Ocean. Military bases worldwide went into high alert, and news channels interrupted their regular broadcasts to show the same incredible footage. "We mean you no harm." The message came in perfect English, transmitted to every communication device on Earth. "We are the Dry Ones, and we have come to help improve your world." Inside the Pentagon's main conference room, General Mike Roberts watched the alien ship's holographic display floating above the table. The alien commander, tall and gray-skinned with features that looked almost carved from stone, spoke with what seemed like genuine confusion. "Your planet is inefficient," the alien said, gesturing at a 3D image of Earth. 70% of your surface is covered in water. Such waste, such poor planning. No advanced civilization would allow this." The room fell silent. The gathered world leaders and military commanders exchanged worried glances. None of them had expected first contact to begin with criticism of Earth's oceans. "The oceans are essential to our planet's ecosystem," Dr. Tom Wilson, Earth's leading environmental scientist, tried to explain. "They regulate our climate, provide food, and..." "Primitive thinking," the alien commander interrupted. "We have seen thousands of worlds. The truly advanced ones know how to properly use their surface area. Water can be stored underground. Space can be optimized." General Roberts noticed something odd on his tablet. Reports were coming in from naval bases around the world. Unusual sonar readings, strange vibrations in the deep ocean trenches. He made a note but kept his attention on the alien. "We have technology that can help you," the alien continued. "We can reshape your world, make it more suitable, more productive." The way he said productive made Robert's skin crawl. The President of the United States stepped forward. "While we appreciate your offer, Earth's oceans are not a mistake. They're part of what makes our planet unique." The alien commander's expression changed, showing what might have been pity or disgust. "You cling to inefficiency like children. Perhaps we overestimated your species' readiness for contact." More alerts popped up on Robert's tablet. Something was happening in the Mariana Trench. Seismic activities that didn't match any known patterns. He looked up at the alien hologram and saw only cold calculation in those foreign eyes. "We will give you time to reconsider," the alien said. 48 hours to accept our help, or we will be forced to make changes without your cooperation. Your oceans are an embarrassment to this sector of space. We cannot allow such waste to continue." The hologram vanished, leaving the room in tense silence. But General Roberts wasn't thinking about the aliens' threats. He was looking at the growing number of alerts from the oceans. Something was stirring in the depths, something that made every deep-sea sensor go haywire. As the world leaders argued about their response, Roberts couldn't shake the feeling that the aliens had made a terrible mistake. They saw Earth's oceans as a waste of space, but perhaps they should have asked why such vast waters had been left undisturbed for so long. Perhaps they should have wondered what the oceans might be hiding. Time was running out. General Roberts stood at the window of his office, watching the alien ship cast its shadow over Washington, D.C. Smaller ships had positioned themselves over every major city worldwide, their presence a constant reminder of humanity's vulnerability. The secure phone on his desk rang. "Sir," his assistant's voice trembled. "They're broadcasting again." The alien commander's face appeared on every screen, every phone, and every tablet across the globe. His stone-like features showed no emotion as he spoke. "People of Earth, your time for consideration is nearly complete. We have studied your civilization further. Your dependence on these wasteful oceans has made you weak. You fish from them like primitives instead of creating proper food production facilities. You let waves crash uselessly against your shores instead of harnessing that energy efficiently." Roberts clenched his fists. Beside him, Dr. Wilson was frantically reviewing data from ocean monitoring stations. The unusual readings had grown stronger in the past day, but no one could explain why. "We offer you advancement," the alien continued. We will reshape your world. The process will take only one of your Earth years. The water will be properly contained underground. Your surface area will triple. Think of the possibilities. But what about the marine life? Dr. Wilson whispered. The ecosystems, the entire planetary balance. The aliens seemed to hear these concerns across space. Your sea creatures can be preserved in designated conservation tanks. Those deemed useful for food will be bred in controlled environments. The rest are unnecessary. Military leaders worldwide had already concluded that resistance would be futile. The aliens' technology was centuries beyond Earth's capabilities. Their ships had effortlessly disabled every missile launched in their direction during initial tests. If you resist, the alien commander's voice grew colder. We will proceed anyway. Your weapons cannot harm us. Your oceans cannot protect you. You have 1 hour to submit to your inevitable progress. The broadcast ended. Robert's phone immediately rang again. Direct line from the president. But before he could answer, Dr. Wilson grabbed his arm. General, look at this. The ocean monitoring data had gone crazy. Temperature changes, pressure fluctuations, and seismic readings that defied explanation were coming from every ocean on Earth. But most strange was a pattern in the movements. It wasn't random. It was organized. It's like, Dr. Wilson struggled to find the words. It's like the oceans are waking up. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, ancient machinery that had lain dormant for millions of years began to hum. In the Atlantic, crystalline structures buried under layers of sediment started to glow. The Indian Ocean's deepest trenches revealed pulsing lights that had never been seen by human eyes. The aliens had made their ultimatum clear, but they had overlooked something crucial. They weren't the first advanced civilization to take an interest in Earth, and the vast oceans they so despised weren't just random collections of water. They were waiting, watching, and now, after millions of years of patient observation, they had decided that humanity needed their help. The real question was, would they reveal themselves in time? Dr. Tom Wilson had never seen anything like it. The readings from his deep-sea monitoring equipment were going haywire. Standing in the cramped research station 20 miles off the coast, he watched as wave after wave of impossible data flooded his screens. "This can't be right," he muttered, adjusting his glasses. "The water pressure at these depths is changing rapidly, but there's no underwater earthquake." Behind him, General Roberts paced the small space. The alien's deadline would expire in 30 minutes. "Talk to me, Tom. What are we looking at?" "It's like..." Wilson paused, searching for the right words. "It's like the ocean is breathing. Look at these patterns." He pointed to a series of waves on the screen. "They're too regular to be natural. Too purposeful." A young technician burst into the room. "Sir, we're getting reports from research stations worldwide. The Mediterranean just lit up. The whole thing is glowing blue." Roberts grabbed the satellite feed. The images showed an ethereal blue light spreading through the Mediterranean Sea like ink in water. Similar reports started coming in from the Indian Ocean, the Pacific, even the Arctic. "Temperature readings are rising," Wilson said, his voice filled with wonder. "But not from heat. It's like the water itself is becoming energized. And look at this." He pulled up a 3D map showing deep-sea currents. The normal patterns had changed completely, forming what looked almost like circuit boards beneath the waves. The radio crackled. "This is the U.S. Sentinel. We're picking up something massive rising from the Mariana Trench. It's..." "Sir, you wouldn't believe me if I told you." The satellite feed shifted. Everyone in the room gasped. A structure of impossible size was emerging from the Earth's deepest point. It looked like a tower made of living crystal, water swirling around it in defiance of physics. More objects detected. The radio buzzed. "Atlantic mid-ocean ridge. South Pacific. They're everywhere." Wilson's computer began translating strange signals emanating from the structures. The language was unlike anything ever recorded, but somehow the patterns were familiar to Earth's computers, as if they had been quietly waiting for this moment. Incoming transmission from the alien fleet, the technician announced. The alien commander's face appeared on screen, but his usual confidence was gone. What is this? What weapon have you hidden in your oceans? Robert stepped forward, a small smile on his face. We didn't hide anything. We didn't know. But it seems our wasteful oceans have been hiding something all along. The water around their research station began to glow with the same blue light. Wilson's instruments detected complex energy patterns forming in the waves themselves, creating shields of pure water around every major city on Earth. General, Wilson said quietly, I don't think these oceans are just water. They're alive. They're awake, and they're protecting us. As if in response, the ocean floor trembled again. But this wasn't a natural movement. This was something ancient stirring to life, something that had waited millions of years for this moment. The aliens had wanted to destroy Earth's oceans. Instead, they had awakened them, and the oceans were ready to fight back. The crystalline towers now rose from every major ocean, their surfaces rippling like liquid metal despite their apparent solidity. In the research station, Dr. Wilson worked frantically to decode the strange signals pulsing through the water. These patterns, he muttered, they're not random. They're forming words. English words. The ocean is learning to talk to us. General Roberts leaned over Wilson's shoulder, watching as text began to form on the screen. We are guardians. We HFY C88. We HFY. We PROTECT. My God, Roberts whispered. All this time. The room shook as another massive structure emerged nearby, water cascading off its impossible architecture. Through the station's windows, they could see it clearly now. A tower that seemed to be made of both crystal and water simultaneously, defying all known laws of physics. More signals coming through, Wilson announced, his fingers flying over the keyboard. They're sharing their history with us. Images flooded the screens. Ancient civilizations, far more advanced than humanity, seeding Earth's oceans with self-replicating crystalline structures. These weren't just buildings, they were living machines, programmed to protect developing intelligent life on Earth. Look at this, Wilson pointed to a new data stream. They've been here for millions of years, watching humanity grow. The oceans aren't just bodies of water. They're one giant, connected intelligence. Above them, the alien fleet was in chaos. Their ships moved frantically as the ocean's defense system came fully online. Massive waterspouts rose into the sky, but these weren't natural formations. They were perfectly controlled columns of water, reaching toward the alien vessels like giant fingers. The alien commander's voice crackled over their communications. What is this technology? This is impossible. Water cannot behave this way. As if in response, one of the crystalline towers pulsed with bright blue light. A new message appeared on Wilson's screen. We are not technology. We are guardians. We are the oceans. We are Earth's shield. Roberts watched in awe as patterns of light spread through the water, connecting all the towers in a vast network. The ocean itself seemed to be waking up, not just as separate bodies of water, but as one vast, conscious entity. They're not just defending us, Wilson said, reading through the streaming data. They're offering to teach us. All these millions of years, they were waiting for humanity to reach a point where we could understand them. Another tremor shook the station as more structures emerged. But these were different. They looked like ancient cities, preserved perfectly in giant bubbles of controlled water. Libraries of knowledge, stored beneath the waves for countless millennia. Sir, a technician called out. The alien fleet. They're pulling back. The ocean's defense system is forcing them away from Earth. Roberts nodded slowly, understanding dawning on his face. Now we know why Earth has so much water. It was never a waste of space. It was our protection all along. The ocean's message continued to scroll across the screen. You are ready now. We will teach. We will share. Together. We will protect. The age of Earth's ancient guardians had finally begun. The alien commander's patience had run out. His massive ships moved into attack formation, their weapons charging with an ominous red glow that lit up the sky. If you will not accept our help willingly, his voice boomed across all frequencies, then we will take control by force. General Roberts watched from the research station as the first alien vessel fired. A beam of intense energy shot toward New York City, powerful enough to level the entire metropolis. But it never reached its target. The ocean between the ship and the city rose up like a living wall. The water didn't just block the beam, it absorbed it, the energy turning the barrier a brilliant blue before dispersing harmlessly into the atmosphere. Impossible. The alien commander's voice cracked with disbelief. Dr. Wilson's monitors lit up as more crystalline towers emerged from the depths. They weren't just defensive structures. They were weapons platforms. Ancient weapons, far more advanced than anything humanity, or even the aliens, had created. They're preparing to fight back, Wilson said, watching the data streams. The Guardians, they're angry. The oceans began to move in ways that defied physics. Massive spheres of water rose into the air, each containing millions of gallons, yet holding their shape perfectly. They surrounded the alien ships like orbiting moons. The alien fleet opened fire with everything they had. Energy beams, plasma torpedoes, and weapons humanity had no names for streaked across the sky. But each attack was met by the ocean's defenses. Water moved with impossible precision, forming shields, absorbing energy, redirecting attacks back at the aggressors. Look, Wilson pointed at his screen. The crystalline towers were pulsing in sequence, creating a pattern that spread across all Earth's oceans. They're linking together. The entire ocean is becoming one unified defense system. A massive water sphere near the alien command ship suddenly collapsed inward, creating a vortex of unimaginable power. The alien vessel, despite all its advanced technology, was caught in the pull. Water didn't just hit the ship. It passed through the hull as if the metal wasn't there, filling every compartment instantly. The Guardians aren't just fighting. Wilson realized, reading the data, they're showing the aliens why they were wrong, why water isn't wasteful. They're demonstrating its power. More alien ships fell to the ocean's attack. Some were encased in spheres of super-pressurized water, crushed like tin cans in the deep. Others found their systems frozen as water molecules themselves were controlled with precise deliberation, flash-freezing vital components. The alien commander's voice came again, but this time it trembled. Hold. Hold fire. We submit. The oceans calmed slightly, but the defensive structures remained ready. A new message appeared on Wilson's screen. They learn, or they leave. Earth's waters are not if or they're taking. General Roberts smiled grimly. Send word to all military commands. Stand down but stay alert. The oceans have this under control. The aliens had come to Earth seeing water as a waste of space. Now they understood. Earth's oceans weren't just bodies of water. They were Earth's first and greatest defense system, and they had finally awakened to fulfill their ancient purpose. The real battle was just beginning. In the aftermath of the first battle, the oceans continued to change. The blue glow had spread to every body of water on Earth, from the largest seas to the smallest lakes. Dr. Wilson hadn't slept in days, too fascinated by what his instruments were showing him. The water molecules themselves are changing, he explained to General Roberts, pointing at his microscope display. They're not just H2O anymore. They're becoming something more complex, something alive. Roberts watched as a drop of ocean water moved across a slide on its own, forming perfect geometric shapes before splitting into smaller drops that danced like tiny dancers. All water on Earth is connecting, Wilson continued. The oceans, lakes, rivers, they're forming a network like a giant nervous system. And look at this. He switched to a satellite view where bright lines of energy pulsed through the oceans, forming patterns like a giant brain's neural pathways. A young technician burst into the lab. Dr. Wilson. The whales. They're singing something new. All of them. Every species, all at once. Wilson rushed to the acoustic monitors. The haunting songs of whales filled the room, but they were different now. More complex. More purposeful. They're talking to it. Wilson whispered in awe. The marine life. They've always known. They'd been communicating with the Guardian all along. Outside, the ocean near their research station began to move, not in waves, but in shapes that rose from the surface, rough approximations of human faces, trying to form words without sound. The Guardian is learning, Wilson said. It's trying to communicate with us the way we communicate with each other. It's mimicking our forms. The water faces became clearer, more defined. Suddenly, words formed in the air, made from tiny droplets of floating water. We remember the first ones. They made us to pirotect, to nurture, to guide. Robert stepped closer to the window. The first ones. The civilization that created you. They are too far, too fast. They destroy themselves. We are made. We atc'd. We waited for new life to grow. Wilson's instruments detected massive movement in the deep ocean trenches. More ancient structures were rising, but these were different. They looked like libraries, research centers, places of learning. Humanity is ready now. You are enough to understand, to learn, to join us. The alien fleet still hovered above, but they had retreated to high orbit. Their sensors must have been going crazy trying to understand what Earth's oceans had become. Sir, a naval officer reported over the radio. Coastal cities worldwide are reporting. The water is helping them. Cleaning pollution, generating power, even helping with construction. Wilson smiled. The Guardians aren't just defending us. They're teaching us, showing us how to work with them, not against them. As if confirming his words, the ocean rose up again, forming a perfect replica of their research station in water. Then it showed them what the station could become, a place of harmony between human technology and the ocean's ancient power. The age of separation was ending. Humanity and the living waters were about to become partners in Earth's future. And the aliens could only watch as their useless oceans reshaped the very definition of civilization. The alien commander had made a fatal error. After retreating to high orbit, he called for reinforcements. Now 100 massive ships darkened Earth's skies, their weapons powered up for a final assault. Your ocean tricks won't save you this time, his voice thundered. We have studied your defenses. We have adapted. Dr. Wilson and General Roberts watched from their now-enhanced research station, surrounded by living water that flowed through transparent channels in the walls. The ocean's response appeared as glowing words in a sphere of floating water. They learn slow lie. We akvnot shown them EVER thing. The alien fleet launched their attack. This time, they targeted the ocean itself with weapons designed to separate water molecules, to break the very bonds that held Earth's seas together. But the oceans had been waiting for this. The crystalline towers suddenly pulsed with blinding light. The entire Pacific Ocean began to swirl, not in normal currents, but in a massive controlled movement. A whirlpool larger than any continent formed, but instead of pulling downward, it reached up toward space. My God, Wilson breathed, checking his instruments. The water isn't just moving. It's changing its own molecular structure. The Guardians are turning the entire ocean into a weapon. The massive water spout that rose from the Pacific wasn't water anymore. At least, not entirely. It had become a column of pure energy, with water as its carrier. Similar formations rose from every ocean on Earth, their power readings off any scale humanity had ever created. Now we show with them true power. The Guardian's message formed in the air. The energy columns struck the alien fleet like the fist of an angry god. Ships that had survived the first battle were torn apart instantly. Their advanced shields, designed to stop the ocean's previous attacks, were useless against this new form of power. The alien commander's voice cracked with fear. "What are you? What have you become?" The response came not in words, but in action. The oceans of Earth moved as one, forming a sphere of energy around the entire planet. The remaining alien ships found themselves trapped inside this sphere, unable to escape or fight back. The Guardians aren't just defending Earth anymore, Wilson realized, watching the data stream across his screens. They're showing the aliens why water was the perfect choice for planetary defense. It can change, adapt, become anything it needs to be. One by one, the alien ships were neutralized, not destroyed. The Guardians were more elegant than that. Instead, each ship was encased in a bubble of supercondensed water, their weapons and engines disabled by molecular manipulation at the smallest level. The alien commander's final message was cut short as his ship, too, was captured. "We are not waste fuel." The Guardian's message appeared. "We are not inefficient. We are the perfect defense. We are the living waters of Earth." General Roberts smiled as the last alien ship was secured. "I think it's time we showed our visitors exactly why Earth's oceans are the way they are. Maybe they'll finally learn to appreciate a planet that's mostly water." The oceans pulsed with agreement, their power now fully awakened, their true nature finally revealed to both humanity and their would-be conquerors. The lesson was just beginning. Inside the converted research station, now a gleaming facility powered by ocean energy, Dr. Wilson and General Roberts stood before the captured alien commander. The beam's stone-like features showed confusion as he watched a sphere of living water float gracefully through the air. "We don't understand," the alien commander said, his arrogance replaced by wonder. "In all our travels, we've never seen water behave this way. What are you?" The water sphere pulsed with blue light, forming words in midair. "We are HFY of DKE First Ones, the ancient Guardians, but you showed ask why we chose Earth." Wilson's instruments began recording new data as the oceans shared their story. The walls of the station filled with moving images made of water, showing scenes from Earth's distant past. "There was another civilization here," Wilson explained, reading the data. "Billions of years ago. They'd reached a level of technology we can barely imagine. But they saw something coming, a threat to all life in the galaxy." The water images showed massive ships, different from the current aliens, darkening ancient skies. A war that spanned the galaxy, planets falling to an unstoppable enemy. "The first ones knew they would fall," the Guardian's message continued. "They chose Earth as their LEJCY. They see the US here, in these oceans, to protect any life that would grow." The alien commander's eyes widened. "The first ones, we thought they were just legends, stories of gods who could reshape matter itself. Not gods, scientists. They gave US purpose. We'd go ATCAD. We waited. We protected Earth's evolution. Now humanity is ready to learn." Roberts stepped forward. Ready to learn what? The water sphere expanded, filling the room with intricate patterns of light and energy. "The truth of water. It is not just liquid. It is the perfect building blocks. It can be story anything. Protect EVER. Wilson's computers suddenly began downloading vast amounts of information. Scientific knowledge stored within the ocean's molecular structure for billions of years. secrets of energy, physics, and technology that humanity had never imagined. Life began in Earth's oceans, Wilson said, his voice full of awe. But not by accident. The Guardians guided it, protected it, helped it evolve. They'd been preparing us for this moment all along. The alien commander sank to his knees. All this time, we thought we were helping primitive worlds by removing their oceans. Instead, we were destroying their greatest gift. You learned. The Guardian's message pulsed. Others wailed a yearn. This is WHYWEROTECT. This is WHY we teach. Outside the station, the oceans continued to change, revealing more of their true nature. The crystalline towers weren't just weapons or shields. They were libraries, universities, repositories of knowledge waiting to be shared. The aliens had come to Earth thinking they were supreme. Instead, they found themselves humbled before the true masters of planetary engineering. The ancient guardians who had chosen water, the universal solvent, the cradle of life, as their perfect form. Earth's oceans weren't a waste of space. They were the greatest gift any world could receive. And finally, their time had come. 1 year after the awakening of Earth's oceans, the world had changed beyond recognition. The research station where it all began had grown into a vast complex of crystal and living water, where humans and the ocean guardians worked together to unlock ancient knowledge. Dr. Wilson stood at his new desk, actually a floating platform of stable water, watching holographic displays made of tiny water droplets hanging in the air. General Roberts, now the head of Earth's Ocean Cooperation Initiative, entered the room through a rippling water door. The last alien fleet just left our solar system, Roberts announced. They're spreading the word to other civilizations. Earth is now classified as a protected world, home of the legendary ocean guardians. We have memory visitors coming. The guardians' words appeared in the air. But these going to learn, not to inquire. The oceans had transformed every coastal city on Earth. Massive structures of crystal and water rose from the seas, but they weren't just buildings. They were living spaces where humanity could work directly with the ancient intelligence that had protected them for so long. The medical breakthroughs alone are extraordinary, Wilson said, gesturing to another display. The Guardians are teaching us how to use water to cure diseases, clean pollution, even extend human life. Outside, children played on beaches where water formed itself into safe playgrounds, responding to their laughter and joy. Ships no longer needed engines. The oceans themselves guided them safely across the world. Even space travel had been revolutionized, as humanity learned to use water as an impossible form of energy. Humanity grows quickly, the Guardian observed. You understand things. The first ones hoped you would learn. You use water as they did, with respect and wisdom. The alien commander, who had chosen to stay on Earth as an ambassador, entered the room. His once rigid features had softened, changed by months of learning the true nature of water. My people were wrong, he said simply. We thought we were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy, but we never understood the true power of water, its ability to adapt, to change, to become anything needed. The oceans pulsed with approval, sending waves of gentle blue light across the world's waters. In the deep trenches, more ancient structures were still emerging, each one containing new wonders and knowledge to be shared. The first ones would be Hiwaroid. The Guardian's message rippled through the water. Their GFT is Favuelthiolid. Earth's oceans are not just guardians, no. We are TECers, partners, friends. Wilson smiled as he watched a group of young scientists working with floating spheres of water, learning to reshape matter at the molecular level. Humanity had not just survived an alien invasion. They had found their true place in the galaxy. What comes next? Roberts asked the Guardian. The answer formed in waves of light and water. We explore together. We grow together. We protect as we protected you. The oceans of Earth are no longer silent guardians. We are the beginning of a new age. The useless oceans that the aliens had wanted to destroy have become humanity's greatest treasure, their truest ally, and their path to the stars. The age of water had begun.